Hello, 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 everybody. Happy Saturday morning to you, or Saturday evening on the other side of the world. Welcome to today's Messages of Love from Above, at least this morning's. So good to see you. Glad to have you guys here. And it's a beautiful, nice, snowy day here in Colorado Springs. Yeah, snow in spring. It's normal. We even get some in May every now and then. But this is probably one of the last snow showers we get. So enjoying the beautiful snow falling. So hope you guys are well and had a great week. Welcome to your weekend. Before we get started here, let me break out the chat here and get my desktop all set up, and we will get into it. All right. I'm going to stretch this down here so I can see it all and change that to live. And YouTube says we are live, so we'll believe them. All right. So before we get into everything, let's send some love out to the world. We'll use this beautiful singing bowl to bring all of that in. If you're new to my channel, what we do, the world, we have a collective energy of all humanity and everything else. We have a collective energy for planet Earth. And, when we're in fear and lower vibration, of course, it brings in and brings lower vibrational things into the planet. But when one of us sends out unconditional love to the world, it counterbalances a million individuals having lower vibrational fear energy. And if a bunch of us do it independently, it just stacks on top of each other, right? So we can make a difference in the energy, but when we do it together, it multiplies it, not just adds it on top. So that's why I like to do it here, as well as independently, because we can make an impact on the world. So what we'll do, and whether you're watching live too or on replay, we can bring that, we can join in because this energy is outside of space and time. So whether you're watching on replay or not, please join in if you would like to. So I'm going to take a couple of deep breaths and just come back to right here, right now, and let all the outside world just fall away for a moment. So big deep breath in. And one more big deep breath in. Beautiful. And I'll hit the singing bowl 3 times. But as we're doing that, just feel like that love flowing down like a waterfall, filling up your heart, your soul, your body, your cells, your life. Fill you up first and then overflow out to the world. So here we go. Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much for joining me in doing that. Put that back there. Let it finish out its song. And welcome, welcome, welcome. Few things before we get into everything. Well, first of all, welcome to all of you who are new to my channel or new to these readings. How the free readings work, I do go down in order, first come, first serve for the free readings. All you have to do is put your question in the chat. There's no special list. The chat is it. And if you don't want to put your business out there, you can just ask for a general reading, and Spirit knows what you want. We'll pull cards for that. If anyone makes a donation, I do honor that energy exchange. I prioritize those, step out of the free readings, and then I also dive deeper into those donations, meaning I pull more cards for those. And then once I'm done, I go back to the free readings and continue down the list. Um, Before we get into all those, oh, to make a donation, you can use the super chat or in the description box of the video, I have my Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, and Square. And a dollar amount, I don't look at dollar amounts. I just know everyone's finances vary from day to day, person to person, country to country, so whatever you give, I honor that, knowing that's what you're able to give at the time. So I think that's it. Blah, blah, blah. But we got a great group of people here, huge hearts, great senses of humor. So welcome to the tribe. Um, Couple quick things. Every the first Saturday of each month, which will be next Saturday, YouTube on the first month gives me 10 free of my Zen Cricket YouTube channel memberships. And I give away 5 in the morning and 5 at the night. But you have to have your membership gifting turned on. So here's a video that talks about how you can make sure to turn that on. It like shows you screenshots and stuff. So if you want to find that out, and I have a couple winners here. Daisy and Happy Pill were two of my winners for April. So hey, everybody, shout out to you. And then I have one of my YouTube channel members, Johanna. Hey, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome. Hi. So you'll see their names in green with little badges that are on there. So if you like an opportunity, my Zen Cricket, um, the what comes with that, and that's like $2.99 a month if you just want a membership. But it's you get advanced notification and access to I do pick a cards every week and I record them a week in advance, so you get them a week early. My Chaos to Cozy podcast and other videos. I have other different types of videos that I put out. You get advanced access to those, even monthlies, because I started monthlies up. Everyone gets them on the 15th of the month, but as I record them, I make them available for my members. So you get a lot of advanced access to those. Plus, on Wednesdays, I have a 1 hour cozy chat where we talk about on my podcast, which is From Chaos to Cozy. We talk about, our chaos. How can we transform that into cozy when we're ready? So it's some great discussions that are there too. And then I have praying mantis memberships, which are $7.99 a month. You get all of that. Plus, on Thursdays, we have a 2 hour Q&A. And then I go live 5 times over the weekend for these free sessions. And after each one of those, I have an hour with my praying mantis members where we talk about reading books and card readings, past life readings, talk astrology, whatever we want. So we have that special time too. So if you're interested, all that information is down in the description box of the video. So yeah, a Q&A, it's 2 hours. You can ask questions about me, my personal life, questions of spirit. We do readings. We've been reading books too. Like right now we're reading The Presence Process by Michael Brown. Yeah, we just, it's like an open Q&A. We have some great talks and sharing our own life, experiences and channeling messages from spirit. If you want to channel and have, someone on the other side that you want to talk to, it's just a free for all Q&A. So it's really cool. Yeah. Yeah. And that's on, I know you're like, "Do I wanna wake up early for that?" I know you're on the other side of the world, Joanna. You're like, "Is it worth waking up at 3 in the morning?" But, yeah, um, so I'm sorry. You're like, "Well, maybe not." But, if you do a praying mantis membership, we do the same thing. For each of the hour ones afterwards, we have that too. So if you're interested, it's kind of like a Q&A anyway. After each one of these sessions, we just talk about whatever we want. It's all my praying mantis members' time. So we do what they want. All right. And then I have a lot of free things that, because of my YouTube memberships, because of donations, and anyone that purchases all the services I offer, which are listed in the description box of video, I'm able to offer a lot of free stuff. Otherwise, I'd be working and exhausted and hardly doing anything, right? Like the rest of you guys, right? But this is my dream, and I'm so my host who allows me to live in the basement or the cellar, as I say it. I always joke that I'm the elf in the basement elf, you know. So it's a beautiful opportunity for me. But so some of the free things that I do every week, I have a pick a card. Every other week, I put out full moon and new moon pick a cards, talk about the energies, making the most of the wishes, making the most of the release of the full moon energies. And then so I have let me just post one of those. So we had the Scorpio full moon, which we had this last Monday or Tuesday. Whoops, I always do that here. Let me just get rid of here. I have too many things. It won't let me post. There it is. So we have a pick a card here that has a pick a card, and it talks about the full moon release energy too. And then, so, every other week is either full moon or new moon because they're 2 weeks apart, right? And then also, I have when the sun goes into its new sign, we have pick a card for that, which of course we've gone into Taurus. So here's a pick a card for Taurus season. And for all the sun babies for that month, in this case, Taurus sun babies, happy birthday to you. There's a 3-month bonus reading for all of them. So that's, once a month. And then the extra month, I mean, not the extra month, but the extra week that we have, I do a pilgrimage meditation with a pick a card, and we've been visiting all of the chakras of Mother Earth. We're to the third eye chakra. We've covered them all except for the crown chakra, which will be next month. And then we have some other exciting pilgrimages we'll go on. But if you're interested, check that out too. Um, and then, like I mentioned, I'm starting monthlies up again. It's been about a year since I've done them. I think I stopped in June of last year. So Spirit urged me, said, now it's time to start that back up. I had stopped to balance my life. Evidently, I want to go out of balance again. I'm just kidding. But it's a playlist for each individual zodiac sign. And we basically take a tarot deck. We split out the major arcana from the 4 suits of the minor. And we get an overall energy for the month with a major arcana and an oracle, and then we take each of the individual, which represent different areas of our life, fire and earth, air, and water, emotions, mind, the physical world, and our energy. And we get messages with oracle cards for those too. So check them out. I love doing them. And so I'm glad we're back doing those too. And then I mentioned, I know, I'm sorry, I'm blabbing a lot today, but I like to make sure everyone's aware of all the free things that we offer because of all the donations and you guys' love and support. I have my podcast From Chaos to Cozy. Here's the playlist if you want to catch up. Last Sunday, it comes out every Sunday, we had The Hungry Heart. Tomorrow's is The Work. It's all about Byron Katie's and doing the work. Amazing, amazing process. Um, so be sure to check that out. And because my host had surgery this week, it's been a crazy week. I haven't recorded the next one. So my YouTube channel members, I will get that done. I'm going to be playing catch up next week. So thank you. I know you guys are patient with me. So let's see. I think that was everything I wanted to talk about right now. And yeah, I think that's good for now. I also have, well, okay, one more thing. I'm like, I'm done. They're like, no, mention that too. I'm doing what I'm calling astrological Zenergy readings, or videos where I talk about the astrological energy that Spirit wants us to know about. This one was all about retrogrades. We just came out of Mercury retrograde, and we're direct, but we're in its post shadow. This video talks about what's pre shadow, what's post shadow. Even I show you how you determine when they start and when they end. It's if you want to get a little nerdy about astrology, but it talks about what the impact of those are. And we talk about Mercury specifically and Saturn. We're in the pre-shadow, so we're getting ready to go into that. And I have on my list here, we're about to go. We're in the pre-shadow of Pluto retrograde 2, and Pluto here in about a week and a half or so. We go full into um, that retrograde too. So it's like getting a forecast of the weather. You know how to weather it, and I call it Zenergy because we talk about how to make the most of the energy so that you don't go outside when it's snowing in a speedo and get things frostbitten. It's like, oh, okay, so like retrogrades, we get such a bad rap, but we're in retrogrades literally with the post and pre-shadow of retrogrades half of our lives. So it's not like, oh, it's every once in a while. We're in it, we know it, but it's making the most of it, right? So anyway, blah blah blah, there you go. All right, so let's get started. I am going to be using for donation readings, I'm going to be using the Sun and Moon Tarot. And then for the free readings, when I get to those, I have two decks of the Light Seers Tarot, and I know how lucky I am. But the reason why I have two is, and I joined them together in one huge stack because when I got my original deck, I got really zealous with shuffling and I bent one and it crackled. And it was, it always would stand out because when you're shuffling, if a card is bent, it's like, here I am. And I'm like, oh. And then lo and behold, I kept on thinking, well, I should buy a new one. I should buy a new one. I wish I could just replace one card, but no such luck. But a friend of mine, um, uh, we went out to lunch and she brought a new deck. So she had it already. Someone bought it for her and she was like, I have an extra one. She goes, do you want this? And I'm like, yes, please. And so blessed. So I shuffled them all together. So there's an opportunity to get multiple cards of the same in there. So I think it's cool. I know, right? I love it too. All right. So we do have several donations. Let's get started. And Maria, thank you for your PayPal. That's going to come through any second, I'm sure. There it is. So we'll do the. I've got several of the super chats, so we'll go through those, and then yep, and then so you'll be after Jeep's last one here, Maria. So thank you for that. So we'll get going here. And thank you guys for all your love and support. Yeah, and all the thumbs up too. That's something that you guys do too. That I forget so much to thank you for that because it does help out the channel, and it's something everyone can do for free. And a lot of you guys do that, and so thank you for doing that because it seems like a small thing, but the YouTube algorithm it loves it, and it encourages it to share my videos with other people too. So thank you for being part of the love tsunami. All right. So let's get started. Priyanka, you are up first. So thank you so much for your donation. Let's give that a love. Whoops. There it goes. Love and a like there. And you want to know why does A ignore you sometimes? All right, let's find out what is up with them here. Let's find out why does A ignore you sometimes? Because they're stupid. I feel extra sassy today. Snow does that to me, though. I get very hyper around snow. So that's the only reason anyone would, ignore you because they hit their head or something, right, Priyanka? Um, so I do see here. Yeah, yeah, we do have snow here today. Um, we normally do. We're at the base of Pikes Peak, which is a huge mountain range before it goes into the plains. And we do get snow up here. We're at 6,000 feet above sea level or something, but we get it every once in a while. Sometimes we even get a snowstorm in May. So we're like hesitant in planting gardens and stuff till like May. April showers being Mayflowers. No, up here it's April snow showers bring rain in May and then flowers in June. That's funny. All right. Hey, Needy, welcome. Good to see you. All right. I'm in Colorado Springs, Colorado. It's beautiful. I always consider this home, even though I was born in Wisconsin. We moved here when I was one and have moved all over the place. All right. I know I'm like so distracted, ain't I, today? So Priyanka, the on the bottom of the deck we have here the Queen of Swords, which she's all about balancing the head and the heart. And so I do when I first read your question, I kind of had this energy of like they just kind of um aren't really, it's almost like an ADHD feeling where they're easily distracted and all over the place. And I feel like this is like saying that they're out of balance. It's usually a balancing card, but it says their head and their heart are all over the place. It's like squirrel, they're just constantly having trouble really, focusing in on things. So, um, I just feel that. And let's see what we have here. Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we've got all this. I mean, we've got the temperance card, which is, let me see if I can get it to focus a little better here. There it goes. It's the cups going back and forth. It's like this patience and balance card, this four of cups, which is emotional stability. But all of these have this energy of the opposite. Usually it means emotional stability. I feel like emotional instability. Temperance is going back and forth, which is the can be a balancing and patience card, but I just feel like they're impatient. They're just like from thing to thing to thing to thing to thing. And the Princess of Swords, which is about mental clarity, and I just feel like they don't have mental clarity. And then we have the Seven of Swords. So they've got a lot of beliefs, a lot of fear beliefs with the Seven of Swords, a lot of thoughts that deceive themselves. And so I do feel like they're really stressed out, like a stressed out individual. And when they're in stress, then they can't have clarity. They are confused. And I just feel like they're under so much stress and in so much fear a lot in their lives, not towards you specifically, that they are just all over the place, jumping from thing to thing to thing to thing. And it does feel like the feeling that I have would be what I imagine that ADHD feels like, where it's difficult to focus on one thing at a time. They're just like leaping from thing to thing to thing to thing to thing. And so when they're in this, the example there's this comedian who has a stutter, and he's married to a wife who has ADHD, and he tells a story about her that she went to clean and goes, and this is how it goes. While she's vacuuming, she hits the table and a leg falls off, and she goes, oh, that's right, I was going to go fix that, and there was a cup and it spilled. So she goes into the kitchen to get something to clean up the the spill, but then she realized in the kitchen that she was running out of paper towels, so she needed to order some paper towels. So she goes, I need to run to the store and get those. And then when she's going to go get her car keys, she sees that, oh, the laundry needed folding, so she would go to try to fold the laundry. And while she's doing that, she realizes that she left some upstairs, and so she goes upstairs and she realizes she hadn't made the bed yet. And this is the kind of energy that's like, oh my gosh. And she goes, so I get home and the house is a wreck because everything's undone, because she starts and doesn't finish things because she gets distracted. And so I feel like that's the kind of energy that he has, and that's why he ignores you sometimes. It's not that he's ignoring you, he's totally distracted by other things. So hopefully that makes sense and resonates there with you, but that's what they're going through right now. So yay. I'm like, whoa. Run for your life. All right. But that's what's coming in there for you, Priyanka. So many blessings. And thank you again for your donation. Really appreciate that. And then Sen, you are up next. Let's give that a love and a like there. Thank you so much for your donation. Anyone to know, is anyone coming towards you? All right, let's take a look here and see What does Spirit want you to know about anyone coming towards you here? All right. Have that one and that one and that one. All right. And that one. Like that. All right. All right. I do. The bottom of the deck here, you have the Six of Cups. Six of Cups for me, if it'll focus here, there it goes a little bit. Um, represents like past life connections. So this person that's coming in is a fated person that's fated to come into your life. It's one of your fated relationships for this lifetime. We'll take a look here at the cards coming in and see if we can get any information on, is this like a forever person or a temporary life lesson, stepping stone, or what? But or if we can find out who it is. But it is, you're going to recognize it right away. You're going to have this undertow of draw to them, like you're like, whoa, what is this? Because it's going to be so different than anything that you've had before. So I like this for you because there is this, energy of, I mean, just lifetimes of connections that you've had. Lovers, yes, and other things too, but you have all this emotion that comes up where you're just like drawn to each other, and they will feel it too. I don't feel like maybe they'll feel it as extreme as you will because you're really in tune with your emotions. And so you'll sense it like, whoa, what is this? Because it's going to feel huge to you. It's going to feel extra large to them. But I like that. So definitely a past life connection. Let's see what we have here. All right. And let's see. I got the Innocence, the Hermit, and Rebirth. All right. I feel here with these that they're not a forever person. I feel like they do teach you and help you, you know, uh, learn some things about yourself so that you won't bring that into um, your forever, not forever, but for the rest of this lifetime like relationship. I call it like soul partner. We have a lot of soul mates, which are people that, souls that we have agreed to experience things with. We have twin flames, which are extreme individuals, which we don't have a ton of those. It's extreme, but soul partners are who we end up with the rest of our lives once we have our last, connection. So, we have here, this ace. Let's see, there we go. Ace of Wands and Three of Cups. And there's a lot of passion that happens here. And the Three of Cups is this joy and the celebration, this feeling. Um, and I feel like it's someone there's with this Three of Cups, because like Three of Cups can mean a variety of things. But I also feel in addition to joy and celebration, it's someone that you already know. Um, and but I feel like you haven't felt these feelings before. And with this person, as huge as it is now, something's been being activated in your energies, in the planetary energies, that activates this past life emotions bubbling up. Probably this Scorpio full moon, it's been impacting people in a big way this year. That just happened last week. So I feel like you will feel this with someone that you already know that's in a group of like a group of friends. And so there's this passion that ignites, and you understand, this energy that draws each other together. But eventually, I feel like with the Eight of Cups, this is like walking away from emotions that no longer serve you. But I don't feel like that. I mean, the cards are just so interesting today. They're just not meaning what they normally mean. For you, this is like, I feel like they move away, they go away, and or you move away. One of you is leaves the actual location, and you're not at a point where you guys are willing to move, because I still feel like it's fresh, because you do spend some time with your hermit mode, just processing what you learned through this interaction with them. And you have this rebirth, this ending and beginning. I love this card. Here it goes. Beautiful, beautiful rebirth that happens. But it's important for you to interact with them because you do on the bottom of the deck, you do have the magician card too, which is all about stepping into your power through the relationship, embracing your passions, um, realizing what is that you want and don't want. And I just feel like it's an important thing of opening your heart and, feeling, this openness that comes in. So I like that. I like it for you. So that's who's coming in. And it's important, I know it's like, well, it's going to end. Sometimes knowing that it's going to end allows you just to embrace it, and it doesn't, it's like going on vacation, you're going to leave, but you're going to enjoy it while you're there. You're not going to be like, well, why go on vacation if it's going to end? Well, because you have beautiful experiences through it, and you learn a lot about yourself that help you release and don't take it into you want to do all that work and not have it taint your lifelong partner for the rest of your life, right? Right. Right. Right, exactly, Johanna. Just because they're not your forever person doesn't mean they're not important, right? I love that vacation example. I'm just like, I've never heard that before. So I like that. Absolutely, Sen. You are very welcome. And thank you so much for your donation. That's what they have for you right now. And then Jeep, thank you. I know you have a couple donations, so we'll look at the first one here. Thank you for this one. Let's give it a love and a like. And you'd like to know about your future job, what spirit wants you to know. Let's give it a shuffle here. See what we got going on here. So let's see. What do they want you to know about your future job? All right. So we got those. And but this one's in between. All right. So what do we have here? So that kind of connects. We'll see what these cards are in a moment. But on the bottom of the deck, you do have the Ace of Pentacles, which is about a new opportunity that opens up. But we also have the Princess of Wands right underneath that. And the combination of these two with the Page of Wands, it's something more than you've had before. It's a heightened, you know, I feel like it's just something different that you haven't been engaged in before. It's like there's a new way of, like a new type of job, a new field. It's something different that you haven't really had a job in before. I feel like with this Page of Wands, I feel like it's similar, but very different too, if that makes sense. Let's dig in. Let's see if they'll give us any more clarity here. Yeah, you have the Seven of Swords. So this is about you know, moving beyond your restrictions, these thoughts and beliefs that, oh, I could never do that, no one would ever allow me to do that. It's these old thoughts that need to be overcome, because that's what the Seven of Swords is how have I deceived myself? How have I limited myself, stolen opportunities from myself because of thoughts that are in here? So I do feel like there's something that you may have wanted to do in the past that you were like, no, I can't do that, but you're not who you were back then either. So revisiting something from the past, I feel like might be in here. We'll take a look here. Yeah, again, here's the Emperor energy of you get to decide, letting go of everyone else's supposed to, shoulds, need tos, have tos, musts. The Princess of Cups, Page of Cups, is something that makes your heart sing with this job. And I know we've talked about that before, right? It's not something of, that the mind is, well, this is what I should do, and then we wake up in the morning going, oh God, I got to go to work today. Instead of waking up going, I get to go live my dream today, excited about going to work instead of dreading and looking forward to time off, right? So I do feel like this is very much about what makes your heart sing. And again, it feels like you're revisiting something from the past. Yeah. Something where you had disappointment before with this Three of Swords, or you feared that you would fail at it or not do well at it. And so it is, looking at those fears and just going, what am I afraid of? How can it hurt? The thing with when you're living your dream and you're searching after something that your heart wants, you don't give up on it, right? It's like Thomas Edison. I know I probably talk about him forever. I think it's Thomas Edison who created the light bulb, and they were like, people would be like, "Oh, you failed 1,000 times." And he's like, "No, I found 1,000 ways it didn't work to find the one that did." He loved the journey and the process. He never gave up because it was his dream. It wasn't, well, other people said, "You know what you should do? You should go invent a light bulb or invent something where we can see in the dark without fire." And they're like, "Okay." And then the first time it failed, they'd be like, "I tried," and they would have given up, right? But when you're living your dream, you're just like, "Okay, that was fun. Let me try a different way. Okay, that didn't work. I learned this. Let me try this." And you really you don't fear doesn't stop you when you're living your dream. But if you wake up in the morning going, "Oh crap, I got to go live my dream today." That's someone else's dream. Let's see what connects you here. Yeah, because the 3 of swords was like this. This card, the 6 of cups, connects you to your dream come true, the star. Let's see if I can get him to focus here. So, the 6 of cups is about, pursuing your and flowing with your what brings you joy, what brings, 3 cups on each side. So, you're able to move towards something that is like living your dream. And sometimes we do take little jobs that are funding our dream. And when we do it that way, we don't mind going and working because we know that after I finish work, I'm going to go do this toward my dream. I'm going to do this toward my dream until the dream starts making funds come in where you don't have to do that other. And but it just changes life when we kind of change that. So I like that for you. I feel like that might help you, you know, well, you'll know because it's something from your heart, right? It's like, what makes your heart feel full? What is it that, you'd be like, wow, um, and how you want to, um, spread the love and passion in your heart with the world in your own special way, right? And you'll know it because it's like it'll make your heart feel full. It makes your heart feel like it's singing, right? And you're like, wow. And if we're not sure, then look at the last 5 times your heart felt that way. And that kind of gives us direction with that too. So that hopefully that helps. But it does feel like it's something that you wanted to do before that you feared doing it because of, the mind going, well, but what about blah 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 blah? And you're like, you're right, and your mind talk to your heart, um, or you out of, your heart's going, I want that, and the mind's like, well, if we do that, blah 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 blah, and so the brain talked you out of allowing your heart to have a say so in the decision, if that makes sense. So that's what they have for you right now. And one of the big things is searching for our dream is the scavenger hunt too. That's something that we don't get to experience on the other side because we just want to know something, we know it. We want to be somewhere, we're there. But it's the journey and getting there that's the fun piece, one of the fun pieces of this life. So that's what's coming in for you for that one, Jeep. So again, thank you so much for that donation. I really appreciate that. All right. And then we have Mod coming up. So let's give that a love and a like there. Hey, Mod. And I think is your question. I think it's below, right? Okay, let's scroll down here. All right. I think here, let me use the bar here. Scroll, 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 scroll. There it is. All right. Good afternoon to you. You want to know why does L surprise and stay quiet after you told him that you were unhappy? He allowed one of his friends to ask you about our private life and he didn't stop him. Oh, so why does he stay quiet? All right, we'll take a look here. Hey, Rhonda. Oh, this is the deck you use too? Cool. All right. It is a cool deck. I love that there's no faces on them. I like the artistry of it. So I'm just gonna take a quick sip of coffee here too. right. So let's take a look here. Why does he stay quiet after you said, why you letting people get in our business? And you didn't stop him. All right, let's see what we got going on here. All right. Yeah, I get here that you know, with this 7 of Swords here, they do have some fears, and I think we talked about that, in one of your readings here, where, they've got these thoughts and beliefs and mindsets that, um, because they've been deceived, because they've had and this is other relationships, but when they were younger, I feel like that, um they would get, like, emotionally punished by, like, mom, I feel like was like, "You didn't do what I wanted you to do," and they would s be sad and just, like, devastated them. And so when someone speaks up or yells or whatever, it's like they weren't physically abused, but they were, like, emotionally not abused, but on the verge of it, right? And they just have this, where they felt things very, very deeply, and, so they had this because we've got the Queen of Cups and we've got the Chariot card, which Queen of Cups rolls over emotion, and she gets an extra set of cups, which means Master of Emotion, a ton of emotion. The Chariot card is actually ruled by Cancer, which is, this, this, ruled by the moon, which very emotional. And then also that brings in the mother aspect a little bit too with Mother Luna. But I just feel like when someone yells or gets upset, they shrink. And that's why they go silent because, this, um, the old pattern that they have that they just react that way. Right. Um, so I feel like it's like a turtle who gets scared and they pull into their shell, and you're like, knock, knock, knock. Hey, come out, knock, knock, knock. And they're like, and it's not like they're a little weakling or anything. It's just emotionally, it's on autopilot that happens below the surface. And so they just feel like running instead of fighting, which if you have a choice, if someone's going to be a fighter or a fleer, you know, and I can resonate with I don't like people yelling. I am a shrinker when if there's violence or whatever, I will pull back. If people are yelling and whatever, I withdraw and put up walls. I don't like, brah, so I can resonate with his feelings here. But I do feel, you know, we've got the 10 of Pentacles, which is the relationship card, one of the relationship cards, and, the 8 of Wands, which is, swiftness, movement, passion, activating and doing this. So I do feel like they will kind of reach back out once they get brave enough, right? It's like if you're trying to have a little shy rabbit come sit on your lap. You throw them carrots. If they get startled, they run back into the bushes for a little bit, and then you see their little nose stick out, and then they come back. So I feel like they will, but just be aware of the sensitivity. I feel like they're very empathic, where they feel people's emotions, and that's why when they were younger, it was really really loud for them. So I don't know if they're like a water sign or if they have a water moon or both. I just feel like I can really resonate. It's like spirits going, yeah, they're showing me pictures of me as a child because I have like a stellium, and even though I'm an Aquarius sun, I've got a stellium in Pisces, Pisces moon, and I even got a grand trine kite, which has a grand trine and a mini trine that's all water. So I've got a huge emotional, it was overwhelming to feel everyone's emotions. And crybaby, that was me. I was like so emotional, and I feel like that was them too. So I feel like that's what's coming in for that. So hopefully that helps a little bit there, but that's what they have for you, Mod. And so many blessings, and just be aware with your interactions that it has a lot to do with their past and little to do with, your actions. But at least you can be like, oh, okay, if I know it's a rabbit that scares easy, then I will move slowly and not make sudden movements to scare the rabbit if I want the rabbit to come close to me. If you're like, screw the rabbit, bah, 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 run, then you get to choose. I don't know. It's got to be the snow. I'm so hyper today. So just fair warning to everyone. All right, Johanna, you are up next. Thank you so much. Let me give that some love and a like there. So thank you so much for your donation. And I think you just posted down below, right? There you go. Your question. Anyone in your spirit guides, any spirits that want you to be aware of them? Oh, absolutely. Well, let's take a look here. You got 3 fixed sign T squares. Wow. Yeah. You definitely you're not stubborn, are you? Let me move this out of the way here. I feel like I want to draw a card here from this Angels and Ancestors Oracle to identify, because as soon as you wanted any of your spirit guides that want you to be aware of them, they immediately said, here, look here. So let's take a look. Let's see which one of your spirit guides wants you to be aware of them. And I feel like this is a spirit guide, because some will have spirit guides that are temporary. Like okay, let me say it this way. This is for everyone. If you want to know about spirit guides, we have spirit guides that are with us our entire lifetimes, no matter what dimension or universe or lifetime, whatever we're living. We have a core group that are always with us. And then we have some that are just for a lifetime. And then we have some that are with us just within a lifetime for a certain period. They're like specialists that come in to help us with a certain situation in our lives. They're like the experts in it. And then they go off to do something else. So that's what's coming in here. Yeah. Well, Mud, there is we create chaos comes from fear, not from unconditional love. So chaos can only be created through fear, right? So we know that there's fear. Why do people not do things? I'm scared. Why do people react a certain way? If it's not of unconditional love, it's because they're fearful of something. So every moment's either one or the other. So if we look at something and go, it's like process of elimination, right? Is that action of unconditional love? No, then it was a fear, and there's some fear going on there. That helps too. And when we realize that, oh, okay, when we're in fear, and in fact, I got a new shirt. You guys can see. Da, 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 da. The when a human is in fear, we go into fight or flight mode, because our little inner child feels unsafe or out of control. Boots are intelligent, loving, compassionate inside. Out, boom, and um, we have the cat mind kicks in, right? It's like a little 2-year-old with its pet hissing cat that tells them, we want to attack. We want to attack and then hiss and then run away. And the little 2-year-old's like, yeah, that sounds fun. And that's what it does. We go into fight or flight mode. And so that's what happens with that, if that makes sense. That's why I got a cat samurai shirt too, that I love, because it just reminds me, be aware of the cat mind. If I feel hissy, that means I'm in fear. If I want to hiss or run away, that's a scaredy cat, right? So there we go. Thanks, guys. The cat samurai. All right, let's take a look here. Back on track here, but I feel like everyone needed to know that. So for spirit guide, and I feel this is one of your life, like your it feels like it's someone who's with you in every single lifetime. So it didn't feel like it was for a period of time or just this lifetime. It feels like there's this big one. Well, you have a spirit animal. So you have a snake spirit. Yeah, one of your forever guides. And they help you with the transformation in each lifetime. And they're like they're very much the Scorpio energy. with Pluto. So we're always you love snakes. Well, there you go, snake. And I love it because they help you with each of the transformations. Because Scorpio energy, like you start off as scorpions, and then they transform into snakes who still need to be honored for their striking and their venom, but they also grow and shed and grow and shed and grow and shed and then become eagles and then become phoenixes. So they represent this transformative energy for you too. And I feel like they will appear to you as scorpions, eagles, and phoenixes too. So they'll, depending on where you're at, they will show themselves as a variety of different um, of those beings. And so, of course, this energy they talk about casting off the old, revealing your true colors, your talents, and your gifts to the world. And in many spiritual traditions, the snake offers powerful medicine. In tantric teachings, it symbolizes the Kundalini, there you go, which is the powerful serpentine energy within that allows you to reach your highest spiritual potential. So, this is the guide that's in charge of this and aids you and guides you in this part of your life. And when the sacred one saw a snake in nature or encountered one in a dream, they knew there was transformation in the air. And for the author here, Kyle Gray, he says that the snake card not only represents the shedding of old skin for them, but moving beyond the limitations caused by carrying the venom of negative thoughts about others or the past. And this brings in a special message for you today that the energy of renewal is washing over your life at this time. If for some reason you feel that your true self hasn't been recognized or you've been misread by others, know this energy is now leaving you. And as you've been working through your old stories and all the self limiting beliefs that you've accumulated along the way, you've been peeling away a shield of skin that has created limiting experiences. Your own personal commitment to growth has been recognized, and now the external world will begin to reflect all of the work that you've been doing within. And if you feel someone you love has misunderstood you, recently, they will be able to see beyond that if you're willing to recognize your own challenges. It's a time for renewal, abundance, and connection. So let yourself be reborn and celebrated. I love it. Oh, thank Lord. You're so funny. So yeah. So you have a spirit guide that comes to you in the form of snake, I feel like primarily, but they also, like I said, scorpion, eagle, or big birds, or the big bird from Sesame Street. No, I'm just kidding. Or the phoenix. So I love that. So that's what they have for you, Johanna. I love it. I love it. I love it. I have, you know, the rings I wear on this hand. I've got four of my spirit guides that are with me every lifetime. Are I have elementals, and each one of my four rings represent each one of them. And so that's one of those. Yeah, crows. Yeah, they'll show up as crows as well because they're big birds. They're medium big birds, but yeah, they'll appear in whatever bird they can get to come close to you. That's funny. Yeah, so that's them as well, making themselves known. I like it. I like it. I like it. I like it. Yeah, and if you guys if you haven't yeah, Zephyr the air dragon. Yes. Yeah. That's I've got him over here right now cuz my hands are swollen in the morning, so I haven't he normally is on my pointy finger over here. And I got Phoenix, I've got Nyx who is a fire element, and he's part of it's a collective of the Syrian Star Collective. It's like a mini collective of the Syrian Star Collective, and I have a water one um, that I call him Fae, Fae. It's flow and ebb. It's funny, and then I have my Earth. I call him Will, Wil, because his name is Walks in Love, and he's represented by the wolf here, but I love it. I love it. But yeah, and so if you guys, and I just met him last year, or became aware of him last year in this lifetime, because I always just spoke to spirit. And if you guys haven't asked to get to know your spirit guides, I highly encourage it. Because I was visiting with a group of healers and channelers and everything, and the person who was leading the group said, if you guys haven't asked of your spirit guides, ask to get to know them because it really helps you connect and root to your spiritual energy. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm so rude. I haven't even go, oh, who are you guys anyway? And boom, 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 all four of them came to me. And I was like, wow. And it's amazing. It's amazing. But you can really get to know them, and it helps. So thanks for asking, Johanna. I love that. All right, so let's continue going. I know we got a lot of readings here, so I will get back going here. So thank you guys so much, and thank you, Johanna, for your donation and great question. So Jeep, you are up. Let me see here. Yeah. So Jeep, thank you for your second donation here. Let's give that a love and a like. And you want to know what about the environment to the country that you're going to move to? All right. Let's take a look here. Let's get these shuffled up and let's see what they want you to know about the environment. So you're here and this one here. Okay, that's it. All right. Well, the bottom of the deck tells you a lot here. You've got the full card, which is a brand new adventure, leaving behind all of the expectations. So I feel like it's going to be somewhere you haven't thought about yet with this full card. It's somewhere that has been not on your radar as far as potential places you want to move to. Um, yeah, and even you've got 2 and 3 coming in here with the 2 of Pentacles and 3 of Pentacles. So 2 of Pentacles is some, it's like 2 different you end up choosing between 2 different locations that are close to one another, and, and I feel like you're on the border between 2 places because 'cause you're like, "I want like that or that," and there's a city, like, right on the border, and you're like, "Oh, well, there I can go back and forth then. I can do what I want." And then it is somewhere here with the 3 of Pentacles, which is this, it's an opportunity for you to express your creativity, and so I love that for you. It might even be like known for their creativity and their artistic expression, and it's the culture of it is very leans towards that. Just a lot of wonderful, maybe even like beautiful architecture and stuff too. So I like that there because it feels that way. It's like they're reminding me because here in United States, in south of us in New Mexico, there's a place called Santa Fe, and it's known for its artistic culture. It's like it's very artsy fartsy. There's like a lot of artists and everyone live there. It's like this kind of, you know, um, environment. So I love that. That's what they're showing me is, but it's like maybe even the city kind of, you know, is in between 2 countries, and then the border, it's just like, because it used to be like 2 cities that were kind of close to each other, whatnot, but they grew this way towards each other to where it's 2 different city names, but it's on the border, if that makes sense. So, you love culture, history, and tradition. Yeah. It's not hot there. Yeah, right? Well, I feel like you're gonna make a choice, from your heart, so I don't think you're like it's not, like, this is where I feel you're drawn to, but there's never any have tos in our life. If it's a fated event, then you will have it's not like you're taken and, you have no choice. If it's a fated event, it's like our soul will make somewhere so attracted, not attractable, you know, that where we're attracted to it. I can't think of the word, that's funny. But you're so attracted to it that you're just like, "I gotta go there," it's not like it'll be, that, right? You hate the you hate the winter. So you want somewhere that's mediocre, right? So there could be Europe, I feel like there's like, I don't know, but I feel like you got 3 more cards, let me look at this. Trying to figure it out. They're like, "Don't do it." So you have here the Hierophant. So I like this, that there's some beautiful nature and large trees, really a place that has, this, um, teach like, education is also known for the area here. It's just like there's a because the Hierophant is about students and hearing, so I feel like there might be like either an art school or one that's known for its art and stuff too. I just feel like with all this creativity coming in here. Yeah, and that's we already talked about that's where you meet your future wife. So here's the 10 of Pentacles confirming that's where you meet them. So, woo-hoo-hoo. I love confirmation. Yeah, and the 7 of Wands too. And this is about you choosing and you just choosing to go where you wanna go, who you wanna be, what you wanna do. And it's somewhere where you won't feel like you have to be on the defense here. And I like it because I feel like where you're at now, like, the culture isn't as welcoming as where you're going because it's such a like, I don't know, like New York, how it's just like every culture is there in New York City, here in the United States. It's that kind of energy where you don't have to feel that way. You aren't afraid to shine and be yourself. And it's like places that just welcome all sorts of cultures because it's like they've just got so many different types of cultures around there, right? But I just feel it's like, I just keep on seeing a border and that too. So I like that for, yeah. Right? Moving to a new country is exciting, right, Nelia? I'm sure it is. And I know just moving to a different state here in the United States sometimes feels like moving to a different country. You know, so I like that. So that's what they have for that. So enjoy the adventure, and I feel like we've talked about, like, it's determining where you want to go and what you love, but I feel like you're going to be attracted to it. Like, you're like, this is where I want to be, and I like it. I like it for you. All right. So that's what they have for that one, Jeep. Thank you for that donation. I'm excited because I'm kind of hyper today. All right. And then let's see here. So, got a couple more here, and then we will go to Maria. So, Nelia, you're up, and then Jeep will be jumping back to you, and then Maria, and then I'll see you after that. I have a couple more, so we'll go from there. So, Nelia, we are to you. Thank you for your donation. Let's give that a love and a like there. And do you ever see you moving from your home? When and why? All right. Well, speaking of going to a different country, right? Yeah, exactly. We can make the most of it or the worst of it, right, Nelia? And neither's right, neither's wrong. They're just experiences. And when we're tired of having a sorry ass vacation, we can choose to have a happy vacation if we want, right? All right. So let's take a look here. Will you be moving out of your location? All right. And why? All right. So we got that and that and that. A couple of reasons it looks like here. Yeah, I do feel here with this bottom of the deck, you've got the 10 of wands here. Let's see if I can get it to focus here. Come on. Maybe if I do this. There it goes. So 10 of wands is when the burden becomes too much and you're just like, I'm done. Let me out of here. So we've got this energy of, you're investing a lot of energy. It just starts to feel we don't make a move until our fears are outweighed by the ugly feeling of not being true to ourselves. And so as long as the fears override or are higher than that, then we go, it's not worth facing my fears. But eventually we get to a point where the ugliness of not being ourselves outweighs our fears, and that's when we take action. And I feel like that's what's coming in here. You feel like I feel trapped. I just feel too much. I can't take it anymore, and I'm doing it. And then it becomes, a little bit of fear, but nothing, because that ugly feeling of being trapped, of not being true to yourself and true to your life, it's like, "That's done," I'm like, "That's fine. I'm willing to do that," right? So, I like that, and let's see here. Here's your first card. Yeah. Will you move out? This was the first card that I asked it for, which is the Princess of Pentacles. So, some reason it's not wanting to focus. There it goes. Which Princess of Pentacles, Page of Pentacles is new opportunities in the outside world. So you do move out. And the reason, I mean, the 10 of Wands is the underlying reason here. But yeah, all of the emotional confusion, the 7 of Cups, this King of Wands kicks in. The King of Wands is like the emperor of like, I'm tired of this, and everyone giving them the supposed tos and the shoulds and the need tos and the have tos of their life, and they're like, all right, I'm, moving forward. I'm going to decide what I want to do, where I want to go, and how I'm going to get there. And I'm putting action into it. So I feel like you're just tired of the mixed messages and all of this, all these emotional things that are happening and going on there. And sorry, I just need to make sure my host was okay. My phone vibrated. Just make sure she wasn't texting me. Um, because she had surgery this week and she's recovering up there. So I just want to make sure. So, but I do feel like it is to this point of, I'm tired of this. I've got to do what I want to do. And so I feel like that's that energy of the 10 of Wands that's kicking in there. Yeah, 3 of Wands is I'm ready for a new direction. I know, the 3 of Wands is about having made plans, but then with new information, new feelings, new awareness, we want to take a different direction. So I do feel like you are, changing and going in a different direction than you thought you would have. And yeah, the 5 of Pentacles. I feel like this was the fear that was holding you back, the fear of not having enough, the fear of abandonment, being left behind, being left out in the cold, right? But this worry, with the 5 of Pentacles, it is a transformative energy. And one of the big things that comes in here is, when we're all taught this, right, growing up, that humans are what bring us our sustenance and keep us alive, because that's what we're taught, right? We see as children, this human is giving me food, so and you're protecting me. I have shelter. You're the one that's, you know, giving me all that. But that we also experience abandonment, feeling left behind, feeling left out in the cold, and lack when we're looking to a human to give us our sustenance. Because when a human goes into fight or flight mode, right, we go into survival mode and we will pull back support for ourselves, going, I need everything to survive, right? And that's why people abandon us. That's why people, out of fear, out of reaction, they're doing that. And so our little child self, we experience it and then we're afraid. We have this mentality of lack. I'm not going to have enough because what if humans don't like me? And what if blah, 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 whatever it may be. But this transformation, we realize, oh, it's not humans that bring me what I need, but you, creator, spirit, universe, source, right? And they have endless resources. They don't freak out. They don't go into fear. They never pull things back. They have plenty. They don't need our stuff. But they're the ones that bring us our sustenance in each moment, not humans, even though humans sometimes are the shipping company that deliver it. They're not the ones that supply it. And when we realize we can trust spirit, because have we ever not had anything we needed in our life? No, otherwise we'd be dead right now. We've always had what we needed, and spirit is who brought it to us, right? And so I feel like that's part of the fear that's overcome that allows you to move forward and move out. But I feel like you do reach this point, and we don't take action until we do, when our fears get outweighed by the ugly feeling of what we're experiencing. We're like, okay, I've had enough. I'm taking action. And that's what happens with that King of Wands. You take action and then you move forward. So that's what's coming in for you, Nelia. So hopefully that resonates for you there. And thank you again for your donation. I greatly appreciate that. All right. And then Jeep Cheap, we have your third question. Let's give that some love and a like there. And you want to know, what does your ex feel about you? Oh, you're brave. Let's take a look here. Just going to take another quick sip here. All right. So, what does your ex think about you? It depends on the day, you know. All right. So, those four things here. Yeah. You know, the bottom of the deck, ultimately, with the Four of Pentacles, it's a solid foundation in the outside world. So I do feel like they, you know, one of the things that they look at is that they always felt like they had a solid foundation, like they always had a home when you guys were together. It just feels like we that was like the most important thing in their life was feeling the security of home, right? And I feel like that's the kind of energy that's coming in here, just feeling like the outside world, okay, ultimately that's what they cared about. You're like, no kidding, right? Let's take a look here. Yeah, and so it depends on the day. They do think about the wonderful times that you did have with the 10 of cups. So we do have that, where we have that, type of energy that's there. And so I do like that, you know. So it's like, oh, we had some good times. We had some happy times. um I feel like they with the King of Swords here, I feel like one of the things that they really kind of felt about you is that you would get into your head a lot and into your mind, but I feel like it's almost like Aquarius energy, and I'm Aquarius sun, and I know Aquarians and um, um, you know the air signs, we get a bad rap thinking, well, you guys don't have emotion. We do, but we do revert. It's like we live in a world of air. We can, it's like let's say it's like an eagle that, they can fly above. They can was it an eagle? There's a bird that can dive into the water and get a fish and then fly back out. And so we can, okay, yeah. So you can dive into, the emotion, but you know we spend a lot of time in our head, and I feel like that's kind of what they looked like here too. Um, that's here, So, and a lot of thought and a lot of thinking, a lot of supposed tos and shoulds and need tos and have tos and musts, because when you say the environment in Sweden destroyed our life, nothing in the outside world can destroy our life. We're the only ones that can do that, right? It's our belief about the story we put to anything is what destroys. Because we can, obviously there's a lot of people that enjoy Sweden. It's like going to a movie. We can enjoy the movie or not in its opinion. It all happens in here. But we come here to experience lower vibration against higher vibration. So it's not a judgment. It's just information, right? It's like, oh yeah, when I went and here, because I feel I have these beliefs that this destroys me, it will continue to destroy my life until I change my story, right? And that's what we give our power away. What we focus on is what draws things into our life. So, if I keep a higher vibrational and ideas around things, then I draw in higher vibrational experiences. If I go to work every day going, which I experienced this going to work going, oh, I hate this place and I hate this job and I don't want to do this anymore. It got worse and worse and worse. until I realized, you know what? What am I doing? I'm going to start to be grateful for what I do have. And then the job became better and better and better. And it's amazing how the power that we hold, right? Yeah, and then they also saw here, with the, King of Pentacles, which is a solid foundation. So, they saw you as a great provider, which reinforces this Four of Pentacles. Um, you know, so, there's this, they saw you as that, as a good provider, um, throughout the marriage there too. And then the Five of Pentacles coming in here. But they did feel abandonment and lack and feeling left out in the cold and left behind in some ways. But, those things, again, all that happens inside someone else, right? And we have no control over how other people act and say and whatever. All we do is, you know, this, inwardness, um, you know, where we can only, control our own things. Like you have this belief, well, we're from different cultures there, and so people treat us differently. Well, they treat you differently because your thoughts are treating them differently, right? If we have this belief inside that people are going to treat me differently, they will. And then if I change my thoughts and beliefs that people are going to be accepting, they will. And it's amazing the power we hold over our lives. And I feel like you went and you wanted to experience this in your life so that you could face these beliefs and transform, because if we feel like a victim and we focus on a victimhood, our energy says, I love being a victim, bring me more victimhood. And we're like, no, I don't want that. So when we start focusing on gratitude for things of acceptance, gratitude for things, it changes things, right? But I love this for you here. Yeah, I feel here with your wife because especially with this Pentacles, they feel like you're a good provider. You brought them things in the outside world. Just I feel like what was missing in there was a lot of, emotion. I feel like you were in your head a lot and providing a lot, but they were looking for someone deep, deep emotional. And you were like, well, I never signed up for that. Did I ever tell you that I'm a deep emotional person? It's like, nope. So I like that. So, it feels, normal. It's like, yeah, it's everyone. No one's going to be perfect. No one's going to live up to this, who we want everyone to be. How boring a life that would be. But it's about how we learn to deal with it. In fact, there's this great quote. Let me grab it real quick here. It's one of the things here that's a great thing to read. And it's from Gautama. I think it's Gautama. Maybe it's Atama Buddha. And they were like, what matters in life? One, how much you loved. Two, how gently you lived. And three, how gracefully you let go of things not meant for you. And I like that because there's this energy of, you know, what's important in life and, how we can let go of things that are, that leave my life and how, gracefully I lived, lived and loved, right? So I like it. All right. So that's what they want you to know about what your wife thinks, your ex-wife. So I like it. All right. But you're changing, right? I mean, you're developing and evolving. So your next wife is going to be different and probably more mentally and emotional balanced, where they appreciate you in your mind and they want to do that too. So, uh, I like that. All right. So that's what they have for that Jeep. So, and then I have a couple. Let's see here. So I have one. So Maria, you're up next. And then Empress Beauty, you'll be up. And then Brenda, and then HTTPS, and then Love 1234. So that's where we're at. Yay! Hey Maria, welcome. Thank you for your donation. And let's take a look here. So Today's checkup, I love it. Let's just give these a shuffle here. All right. So, today's checkup. Let's see here. So, what do they want you to know here? Whoa, your love novel, your love story novel. All right. So, what do they want you to know? So, those for the energy checkup. And then, has he thought of reaching back? Okay. And then one card for that. Will he reach back? So, has he thought of it? And then, if he did, will he actually do it? We'll take a look here. All right. And then these two are the um, time frame of your first hangout and where it'll be. Okay. We'll take a look here. So, I like the bottom of the deck being the universe card, which is the world card. It's all about victory and changing of things too. I love the world card is a significant it's the last card in the major arcana, right? And it's like the ending of one cycle, the beginning of a new adventure, a new chapter, something more free and more open and, this wonderful, um not having like restrictions of supposed to be's and should be's and need to be's and trying to cage things. It's about an adventure, like what are we going to do? What are we going to do? It's all full of possibilities instead of expectations. I like that type of energy that comes in there with that. Let's take a look here. So the first two cards that came out about the checkup here. Yep. Two major arcana. So, and definitely the devil card is the shaking and the rattling, and the emperor is, this devil card is the questioning of all those expectations, this feeling of being caged, and this feeling of being released from it. And the emperor is that energy of them really taking control of their life and deciding what I want, putting plan together and taking action toward it. It's Aries energy, new beginning energy. Excuse me, coming in there. And so I feel like this is part of their transformative world that's coming in here, right? Um, yeah, yeah, the freedom, right? Just going with the flow and loving what it is. And when you're not interacting, you're focusing on yourself and all of that, right? So I like that. Um, has he thought about reaching back? Yeah, Eight of Pentacles is putting in the work and movement in the outside world. So that is a movement card of the outside world. And so I do feel like that is a yes. They're like, but they've got a lot of, when I see the Eight of Pentacles, I see a giant clock where there's these huge parts that are all moving. And you're one of the cogs in the giant cogwheel of like eight cogwheels of their life of stuff that they're kind of juggling. And so it is moving there and they're aware of it. And they do want to with that card there. And will they reach back? Let's take a look here. Oh, yeah. You got the Prince of Swords, the Knight of Swords, which is movement of communication. So that is yes. The Judgment card here, interestingly, coming out with here is their higher self. Oh, calling. Okay. um, it's funny sometimes. Some tarot decks will call it the calling card, and that's funny. So they will call, they will reach out to you. That's funny. I was like, why are you calling it the calling? And I'm like, oh, so I like that. So I do feel like they will. And then any time frame on your first hangout. So the time frame, yeah, they've got the Hermit card here. And I feel like this the timing has to do with you feeling comfortable being alone, which I feel like you are, but I feel like it's turning inward and upward. And, that's what we were kind of talking about is when you're not interacting, it's when you're inward and upward connecting with spirit. And then you go do things together. But it's this nice feeling of you enjoy being with them, but you also enjoy your alone time. And when it's has that true feeling of I'm okay. being with just me, and I don't need that. It's they're above and beyond extra. I feel like that's when, what it's waiting for, this energy, and them too, that when they're done with their hermit time, which is dependent upon both of you being comfortable with that, which is interesting. Where will it be? It's fun. Queen of Swords, balancing of the heart and the mind. So it's something that's both just like there's intellectual um stimulation and emotional stimulation too. So I like it. It's kind of like it would be not so much like a dinner and a movie, but more like going to a museum and then, you know, like a science museum or they a museum that has this interesting exhibit that's there and then going out to dinner, something like that. It just feels like there's this um, you know, not ordinary gatherings between the two of you. And I'm sure that resonates. You're like, "Yeah, I don't like the boring, boring, boring," right? Yeah, yeah, I like that. And it can even be like if there's something that you're interested in, but that's kind of what they showed me in my head, the feeling of it. It's intellectual because it's historical or it's something that gets the mind going, and then also just enjoying each other's company over a meal. It's that kind of, dual thing, heart and mind that comes in. So um, yeah, so hopefully that and, whatever comes up, and even, if, if you have an idea and you see something, don't be afraid to, "Well, no, they're the one that needs to." Like, no, say, "Hey, I saw this exhibit and things, you wanna go? Go do that and grab a bite to eat?" You can initiate it too, you don't have to wait for them. Um, Sometimes they could use a good distraction from all their overthinking and everything too, but, be comfortable with your hermithood, but also when you see things, um, yeah, yeah, and no hinting. Hinting, I don't feel like works with them. You just need to be here. Subtle hinting, very low percentage of success. Not blunt, but just direct and here is what they appreciate. Yeah. Yeah, no hinting, just say it. It's like, well, because what happens when we hint and they don't get the hint? We get upset. What we're afraid of is rejection, but, why are we afraid of that, right? What's the worst that someone can say? No, I don't want to do that. All right, well, hey, do you have any other ideas? Would you like to go do something then? And then that happens, right? So I like it. All right. That's right. Boom, boom. All right, Maria, that's your update for today. So thank you again for your donation. I love your adventure. All right. And then let's take a look here. So, all right, Empress Beauty, you are up. So thank you so much for your donation. Let's give that a love and a like here. And want to know what is Davion's intentions? Oh, all right. Let's take a look here and see what's going on here. You're so very welcome, Maria. All right. I'm just going to use a shuffle here. All right. So let's take a look here. What? Whoa, okay. Those there. All right. So, what are their intentions here? So, we've got the bottom of the deck, we've got the Emperor card here, which is Aries energy. It's about, them trying to take control over their lives. Let's see if I can get you to focus here. There it goes, a little better. It is this, again, Aries energy that they're really trying to step out and decide what they want in their life. And so their intentions feel kind of in process right now because what I'm feeling, usually the emperor is surrounded by people with all these, you know, ideas and supposed to's and shoulds in their ears. And then at some point, the emperor goes, "All right, thank you, everybody. You can step out of the throne room. I got decisions to make." And they're in the decision making process of what do I want in my life? What plans do I want to make? What action do I want to take? So that's why I feel like it's in process. That's the underlying energy. Let's see what else they have here for you, though. Yeah, 5 of swords, so it makes sense. They're conflicted in their mind here between their head and their heart. Their head wants to do certain things out of fear, their heart wants to do certain things regardless of fear, and therein lies the battle that's going on inside of them, Their mind is like, "Oh, no, 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 no. We gotta slow down. We can't do that." And the heart's like, "But I love her." Their heart does have feelings for you. It does want to take action, but the mind is what's kind of keeping the heart on a leash just because of fears of thoughts and beliefs from the past. It's nothing personal towards you. It's more historical. That's funny. And then the 4 of cups, so there is emotional stability there, so that does tell me that they have that below the surface there. Again, the emperor is number 4, the 4 of cups. There's a stability that comes in with that. And so that's kind of the heart and the mind at battle. Let's see what these 3 cards came out together with here. All right. Yeah. So again, there's this, you got a lot of, well, not a lot of, but the emperor had that kind of battling in their mind energy. And with the 5 of swords, you also have the 5 of wands, which battling their passions on the inside, and the 7 of cups, fives and sevens, and represent like conflict because there's something that's they're being forced to look at in their life, and so they're working through these challenges both mentally, emotionally, energetically, passionately. And then you got the high priestess that comes in here too. So they're kind of in this. The high priestess, of course, goes away to our high priestess temple, connects higher to the higher realms, goes behind the veil, dives deep into their emotions. They go in there to really figure some things out, to dive into the hidden and the unknown that's going on in their life. So, a lot of this energy that's coming in here is that you get it. You're like, wow, wow, they're just really conflicted, right? Um, so, and that happens in our lives quite a bit, right? Throughout our lives. But I feel like they're at a big time in their life where they're having a lot of, I want to figure things out for myself, and just it's like they're in this crossroads where they were on this path, and it comes up to this point where there's like 8 different paths to go on, and they're like, which way do I go? Which way do I go? And they're just kind of going, well, if I do that, they're just trying to figure things out. And I don't feel like they're making a lot of headway on it, if that makes sense. But I feel like that's what's happening here. So I don't feel like they know what their intentions are. I like that their heart is like, yeah, 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 pointing at you, and the mind's like, let's not rush into everything. We got to figure everything out first. And it's like, boring, like the heart is like just rolls its eyes at the brain going, all right, whatever. Why do you put a damper on everything? Every party has a pooper. That's why they invited you, to the brain. And so the heart, definitely there's emotion there for you with that, especially the 4 of cups. But I don't feel like they've if they've, their brain keeps pooping out. All right, so hopefully that helps. Their Empress Beauty. We can check back, give them a little bit of time, and we can check in with them again and see, is there steam still coming out of their brain? Psh, All right, so that's what they have for you, my dear. Thank you again for your donation. I greatly appreciate that. And then Brenda Tejada, you are up. So thank you so much for your little doggy sticker and your donation. And you'd like a general reading between Matthew, Daba, and you. We spent time together last night. So, okay. Sure, let's take a look here and see what's going on with his energy now. So based on current energies, what's going on with the Dubois? Right, that one and those, and that one, not those. A lot of stuff. All right, we'll see what's happening here. We got 1 and 2 and 1. The bottom of the deck here. Oh, yeah. So we got both the 5 and the 6 of swords. So 5 of swords is their battling going on and, inside their head. And the 6 of swords, though, is like they're making movement. They're really looking at their thoughts and beliefs and mindsets. So I feel like, the confliction is still there. you know, they're not, you know, uh, okay, I'm back on track and things are clear. I feel like they're still kind of foggy, but they're working on it. They're making movement, leaving some fears behind, moving from choppy waters to calmer waters. So mentally, I feel like things are starting to click a little more inside their head. Let's see. That's the underlying energy. Let's see what we got here because you've got one card, two cards, one card. I want to look at the bookends here. Yeah. So we know that they already were going through this, right? The devil card, the shaking and the rattling of their past, that is continuing. So that's going to continue for a little bit, it appears. It feels like they've been doing it for a long time, right? But that's with all this swords energy that comes in here. And the 5 of cups. So they're still transforming their emotions. You got the 5 of swords, the 5 of cups. Mind and heart are still in transformation, and you know it's happening. They're in this process of really getting a lot of clarity in their life, both emotionally and mentally, belief systems, all that. But let's see what these middle two cards are here. Yeah, so in between it all there is a lot of emotion. I mean, we've got the 3 of cups, which is joy and celebration, and you bring such a feeling of joy to them. And the moon card, here's that mother Luna. They just see you as such a beautiful source of wonderful emotional energy. And, you know, um, I like this type of, I don't want to say emotional security because I don't feel like you are, like a life preserver or anything like that. I just feel like it's like the moon. Okay, thank you. They're like both of these moons, right? The moon, like especially a full moon, shines bright in darkness, right? And you bring light to their life where it's not pitch black when they're going through these things that they're going here. And it's like the feeling, if you ever look out a window or you're driving or you're outside at night and you look and there's the full moon, doesn't it just make you just go, wow. And that's the kind of feeling that you bring to him, while you guys are together. Then when he's by himself, mental storm going on, emotional storm that goes on, but you're like this calming effect where, they're reminding me, like a friend of mine called me up once and he goes, "Oh my God, what is going on? I just feel like I'm freaking out. My emotions are all over the place and blah, blah, blah." And I was like, "Look out your window." And he was like, "Oh, okay." And he looked at and he was like, he just happened to, the full moon happened to be there. And he was like, "Oh," because he knew as soon as he saw the full moon, he knew it brought calmness to, okay, I understand what's going on inside. Now I understand why I feel everything expanded. But, I feel like you bring this steadiness to him, um, to help them understand, it gives them peace. So hopefully that makes sense. They're still going through a lot of mental challenges and emotional challenges of transforming things and getting rid of some old stuff. But that's the feelings towards you. So hopefully that helps, Brenda. But that's what they have for you. So many blessings to you. All right, and then HTTPS, you are up next. So thank you for your donation. Let's give that some love and a like there. And you want to check in with your spirit team, say what they want you to know right now, in this moment. So thank you for that donation. Let's see here. All right. All right. So one tarot, but you get an Ask Your Guides Oracle. That's funny. So what do they want you to know right now? Okay, this one right here. All right. So you've got the compromise card coming in here from your master teacher, card number 49. And let's see. Whoa, sorry, I hit my microphone. Sorry about that if that was loud. This is about concession, fairness, democracy, and neutrality. So your master teacher is reminding you that nothing is entirely good or bad, even people, and that every person has their own version of reality, which may not necessarily agree with yours. Instead of arguing with or feeling wronged by those who refuse to submit to your point of view, give up your righteous and rigid demands and broaden your perspective to include the interests of those you struggle with now. Excuse me. Mentally move toward the center and open your mind to look at the situation from their point of view. And although it's easy to feel indignant and defensive as you deal with this current impasse, the truth is that no one's trying to harm you. Instead, your detractors are simply supporting their own interests and priorities, which are different from yours. Rather than reacting emotionally to their resistance, strive to understand them. Be mindful not to be overly self centered, however justified it may feel. Strive to be fair instead. Your teacher's message to you: accept that your interests are no more or no less important than those of the people around you. So the only way to progress to higher ground is to compromise. Yay! So if you're not in a current situation where that resonates, buckle up, Buttercup. I think it's coming your way. But I love that your single tarot card is the Wheel of Fortune, which does tell you that everything does unfold for you. It's the tune of for you, right? The for tune. And you know, sometimes our human doesn't agree. Like if a situation goes, I'm like, how is this for me? This is that your human is even on board with it. When you get the Wheel of Fortune, your human is like, "Oh, I see how this is for me." And I feel like as you go through this, if you're not going through it currently, that when you are going, "Oh, okay, this is that situation where I can step back and compromise and see it from their perspective, and then I see how that benefits me and how it is for me in the long run." And I like this kind of energy that's coming in here. Feels very positive, very flowing, um, and and I feel like it does impact whatever relationship this is that you're having with this person. That it just changes stuff where they're like, "Wait a minute, we didn't argue," and you're like, "I know, kind of crazy, right?" And maybe discuss. Maybe you guys don't argue, whoever this person is that this is all about, but you strongly discuss things, sometimes. And I feel like because you really are interested and sincerely you ask and you're trying to understand where they're coming from, it's like it just changes your interactions. And I love that for you. So that's what's coming in for you there, HTTPS. I like it. So many blessings to you. And thank you again for your donation. All right. And then love 1234. You are up. So you are very welcome. All right. So love 1234. Do not read out loud. I remember. I try not to read yours out loud. Sometimes it's hard to give you your message without, it's like uh, in code, right? So, number one, Oh, interesting. Oh. It's a curse, it's a curse. Let's take a look here. Maybe they're just, they're drunk and they keep dropping them in your driveway. Stumbling. "Where's my keys?" That's what that's what your guides are showing me. But let's take a look here and see what we have going on here. Yeah, I don't see anything super weird. I know, right? We've got the Ace of Swords, which is about seeing things from a higher perspective and communication, which is interesting, and it's funny. So, you got 2 of Pentacles, but I just wanna zero in on what it says at the top, if it'll focus here. Change, coins, change. That's funny. Prince of Swords, which is the Knight of Swords looking at higher communication, right? Seeing things from a different perspective, clearing things out. And even the Eight of Swords is on here too, which is becoming aware of our own thoughts, beliefs, and mindsets that make us feel, blinded and bound and trapped, with all that. And, with that, when we have certain beliefs and stuff in our head about what the story that something means, and we have all those growing up, right? Where we're told when this happens, this is what it means. When that happens, this is what it means when that happens. And so we're at the whim of the outside world, right? We're like um puppets because, well, when that happens, this is how I have to believe and think and feel and blah 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 when that happens. And there's this clearing away of this, of seeing things differently. And we've got the strife and the peace of mind card, the strife and the truce. Look at that. Isn't that amazing? It's like, how can we look at the situation differently? And the it's like we will get um indicators, things that will keep showing up on our life till we deal with it, right? And even though we clear something away, things come back. And it's like, what is this about? It's like, when we get this, when there's something that we need to look at, then, it's like a 5 and a 7 in those cards where, if you have an 8, like the 8 of Swords, you have 4 on each side. There's this flow of, in here, and there's this energy that just flows. When there's a 9 or a 7, then here's this big thing in the middle that I'm not letting you get away from this struggle that's going on in here, and I'm going to keep bringing it up till you face it, right? And why they are doing it themselves, who knows? But spirit is saying the reason why it keeps showing up is so that we face this struggle that's going on inside. Because if we have this strife with someone, right, it's going to keep showing up to us until we're able to have a truce, both externally and internally. So I have um, battles on the outside because I have battles going on the inside. Right, and so, until I have a truce on the inside of me, I won't have a truce on the outside. So these things keep appearing to poke, 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 poke. No, and those don't work anyway, right? Yeah, hexes only work if I believe they work, right? If someone is like, "Oh, we're doing this," and it's like, um someone comes up to me and says, "I'm putting a curse on you, you're gonna get sick." If I believe it, I'm like, "Oh my god, I'm gonna get sick, I'm gonna get sick, I'm gonna get sick." My energy is saying, "I would like to get sick," and guess what? I invited it and I get sick. If people goes, "I put a curse on you," and I'm all, "You're so cute, boo 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 I love you." I don't get sick because I'm not putting any energy into it. So it can't be there regardless of why they're doing it. It is happening for you or for, you know, um, you know, your papa there. And, there's you know, um, the awareness of it. And how can I, whatever is struggling in here is what's causing the external struggle. And if I'm having a hard time with someone, what can I do is, how can I make it better? How can I have a truce? At first, I have to be at peace inside with myself. I can't create a truce and peace on the outside if I don't have peace and a truce on the inside. And then once I look at here and I transform whatever fear, whatever trigger, whatever belief that's, drawing these events to me, then once I release that, sometimes it'll just take care of itself. Or maybe it is about having a truce with someone and bringing them over something, going, you know what? I just want to have things work out well between us. And I don't like feeling this way. And I'd rather, be supportive of one another than feel like we're at war with one another. And they're like, all right, let's do it. But that's why it keeps showing up. In fact, I mean, if I kept on having coins change show up, I'd be like, you know what? I'm going to start to collect that, and then I can go, take it to an exchange place and get money for it. But that's what I feel's coming in there for you. So hopefully that helps. All right. So many blessings to you. Thank you again for your donation there. Now go try to explain that to your dad. He's like, "What? What are you talking about?" Too funny. All right. And then I do see you have another question coming up here. So thank you for your additional donation. So I'll be down to that here in a momentito, after Johanna. So Johanna, thank you for your additional donation. Let's give that some love and a like there. All right. And Alice, hey, shout out to another one of my YouTube channel members. Good to see you. And Magana, if I didn't say hi to you, I see you came in here too while I was all busy, busy, busy. So shout out to you guys. And Needy Sarvaya, if I didn't say hello to you. All right. So is your high priestess soul sister Katrin? Oh, or S. Okay. You've narrowed it down to the two of them. All right. Let's take a look here and see. We'll do Katrina first and then S. All right. We'll see what that is here. Katrina? No. Let's see. No. You know, because you've got Katrina, you've got the Four of Wands, which is joy, celebration. And this, it actually reminds me of the Wheel of Fortune card coming in here, for some reason. And I see you guys like on either side of the wheel looking at each other here. I like that. I don't feel like it's S because you got the Five of Pentacles with them. So one is lower vibrational, one is higher vibrational. Four of Wands, joy, celebration, gatherings, um, balanced energy. So I would feel like the Katrine or Katrin, probably murdering it both times there, but I feel like out of the two that would be them. That would be them. Yeah. So that's what's coming in here with those. But I like it because you're even wearing the same shirts. Oh, okay. So I like that. It just feels like celebration, gathering. It feels very ritualistic, the way they have this card. you know, or you guys are on the Barbie together, on the rotisserie. But I like it. Turning the wheels of fate. So that feels right there. Yeah, on the bottom of the deck too, just to throw it out there, the universe card, the world card, which is an ending of old cycles, beginning of new adventures. So, and I think when we were talking, isn't like someone new that comes in, like look at what she has. She's got a snake wrapped around her. Oh, come on. It's a beautiful card. I got to do it this way. There it goes. So it's got a snake on there and they're standing on the baby. So I feel like, because didn't we have, you have like another person coming, right? Yeah, exactly. That's why they wanted to stand out there. They're like, yep, the Kundalini energy. And I feel like you'll get confirmation of that with Katrine. So I like it. Yeah, 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 exactly. You're standing on the back of the sassy baby. Oh, it's too funny. All right, so that's what they have for you, Hannah. So enjoy that if that resonates there for you. And and then Love 1 2 3 4, you are up next, and then Lynette, you'll be up after that. All right. So thank you for your additional donation there, Love 1 2 3 4. All right. So your other question. Oh, oh. Let's take a look here. Wee. You're so funny. All right. So let's see here. All right. No, with these cards, I don't feel like they are here. We got the 5 of Pentacles. We've got the Tower card, which is everything unfolds on purpose for a purpose and not to worry. It's like the Tower card has put an end to your worries. And they have the Hanged Man, you know, um, which is, about uh, seeing things from this different perspective and, be at peace. I just love these cards. See if I get it to focus. See how they're just like in this calm state upside down. And it's just like put yourself at ease, relax, everything's fine. So I don't feel like they knew each other. Um, at least not personally, like they would go to them and go, "Blah, blah, 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 blah." I just feel like, you know, they're unaffiliated, if that's a good word to say like that. So I don't. And and we're looking, when we're worried about curses and things, it's like um curses are a good way for people to make money and to try to manipulate and control through fear. And so if we believe no one can make us think any differently, feel any differently, have our energy differently, our physical body differently. Well, besides coming up and hitting us, right? But like from a distance, no one can curse us, no one can do all this. They can do it, but it doesn't do anything unless we believe it, because we're the ones that allow it. But we are powerful beings. Our energy is powerful. We can make it easier or harder for people to choose fear or unconditional love, but ultimately everyone makes their own choice. So I can, you know, put a rotten chicken, you know, bloody in front of your porch and, put signs and symbols and do things and to create fear and people and then I'm in, right? I'm like, I am influencing them, I'm making them fear. And look, their energy is creating things. And so it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. Now they think I am powerful because I convinced them to believe it, right? It's like a vampire knocking on a door and you're convincing someone to let you in, and then you're able to get them, right? And it's like, but you can uninvite them and they get, thrown out of the house too. But it's fear is what feeds curses, but it's only us, the fear that it's impacting, if that makes sense. So that's what's coming in there for you. Love 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. And then my last for today will be Lynette, just for this session. But I will be back. I didn't get to any free readings. It seems to be happening a lot, and that's all right. I appreciate you guys having patience and receiving your free readings. I'm going to go spend some time with my Praying Mantis members, and then I'm going to go eat, and then I'll be back on later to complete all the free readings before my evening session tonight at 6 p.m. Mountain Time, and I'll also be back tomorrow at 11 a.m. Mountain Time. So I'll talk about that briefly here in a moment. So, Lynette, thank you for your donation. I gave that some love and a like there. And you want to know, is Glenn cheating on you? Oh, he better not be. We're going on a road trip. We're going to show up at his door. We need to talk. Let's take a look here. Let's see what's going on here. What does Spirit want you to know about Glenn here? All right. Yeah, I don't. Okay. So, one of the cards that tells me that when I specifically ask the questions, the Three of Cups, which is three-party situation, and the Three of Swords coming out here with disappointment, you know, does tell me here that I feel like that there is a third-party interest that's coming in here. And, we got the Temperance card too. Just this is the patience. It feels like it's been going back and forth. Feels like an on again, off again kind of situation. And ultimately, when we have the Four of Cups, it's seeking emotional stability with the Six of Pentacles on the bottom. The Six of Pentacles is this out of balance, giving and receiving. It's like part of it is like codependent relationship energy, which when like, and I'm a recovering enabler in codependent relationships, and I grew up with this feeling I have to give so much and I deserve so little, that when I got in relationships I wouldn't let them give a whole lot to me, because I needed to feel wanted. I needed to be able to give, and not them give a whole lot back. It's a lot of it subconsciously, right? In our mind, we're like, I want everything, but inside our inner child's going, no way, you don't deserve that. So we turn into like a parent-child relationship where I give, but you don't give back. And when I wouldn't let them give back to me, well, they're either going to become a workaholic and invest their energy there. They have to invest their stuff somewhere where they're feeling wanted and needed. You know how good we feel where we're giving, and they're receiving? Well, they want to give back, and if we don't allow them to give back to us, they give it somewhere else. And that was a repeating pattern through like 3 out of my 5 relationships. It's like they ended up going outside the relationship, and I realized later, well, yeah, if I wouldn't let them give to me, how ugly is that feeling? If no one lets me give, then well, I want to give somewhere else, either friends, hobby, workaholic, whatever. But a lot of times it ends up being physically to someone else, kind of thing coming in there. I have a video about this actually. It's up here is the link here. I talk about here episodes 4 and 5. Episode 5 is about the Six of Pentacles, if you want to get a little more detail, because I do need to jet off to my Praying Mantis session here. But I feel like but it has to do with what's going on inside of them. They're trying to find happiness in the outside world, that emotional stability. But if they don't have it inside here, they're not going to find it anywhere out here. And, that's why people go from person to person to person to person, or have several people, because they think, well, it's got to be them that's not making me feel full. No, if we can't give something we don't have for us inside of us. So, right. So that's what's coming in, Lynette. You know, hopefully that helps. I know it sucks. I've been there several times, but I do look back on it. And one of the big things I learned was when Spirit asked, if everyone's a mirror, what did you learn about, you know, this? And I'm like, people suck. And they're like, no, no. And they're like, well, if they're a mirror, how were you cheating? I'm like, I was faithful to all of them. What do you mean? And they were like, well, if you are looking for your self worth is inward and upward. But you, me, meaning you, I was looking for my worth on the outside world. I was cheating on myself with them. And that was a big aha for me going, wow. Wow. It's so true. No, their actions, their words, whatever defined who I was. And then they're like, my higher self was like, no, they don't. That's me. Why are you cheating on me out there with those people? And I'm like, oh. And it was a life change. In fact, a great book that we're about to start reading here soon in the Praying Mantis group is this beautiful Deepak Chopra, The Path to Love. Transformational for me regarding that subject, if that resonates with you there. So that's what they have, Lynette. So many blessings. Hang in there, my dear. For everyone else, I'm going to take some screenshots real quick here of the chat. So I will be back in about 2.5 hours or so to finish, to complete. I didn't even start the free readings, to complete all the free readings. And when I pop back on, once I'm done with that, I will post a comment on that video listing the order in which the readings were completed, which I'll go down in order of the chat normally. And again, thank you guys so much for all the donations. It's how I'm able to continue to offer everything that I'm doing. It's how I make my living, both on these and the monthly memberships on YouTube. And then also, if anyone purchases any of my services that I offer in the description box of the video. So, whoops. So, definitely check those out. And I have a ton of free content that I mentioned in the beginning too. I've got a lot of pick a cards and monthly readings and different things on my main channel if you want something to look at while you're waiting. In fact, if you want, I'll just throw the May monthlies out here. If you want to get a forecast of your May, here's the playlist for each individual zodiac sign. Is on that playlist. If you want to check that out, there you go. All right. You're very welcome, Lynette. All right, everybody. Thanks for all the thumbs up, all your love, all your support, your huge hearts, your sense of humor, and especially your thirst to hear from Spirit. I feel so honored and I'm so grateful for all of you. And remember, every second of every day of your life, you truly are eternally and unconditionally loved by the Mother and the Father of all things, our Creator. And of course, I love you too. So until I see you guys again, much love to you. Enjoy the rest of your day or night, wherever you may be in the world. Until then, much love. Take care of yourselves. We'll see you soon.